Hello YouTube, and welcome back to my slanted tapestry room. You can barely even see it. I'm seriously contemplating fixing it because this is just not it. Like, my Virgo brain is looking at this and I'm just like, ugh. Anyways, but today we are going to be ranking the Vampire Diaries characters. And this is actually going to be really fun today because, if you can't tell, I'm low-key channeling Catherine. Like, leather jacket, tank top, pants. Like, we're full out today, I think. You know? I'm feeling a little Catherine. That's how I'm feeling. But just a disclaimer, I have not watched the originals, so if I don't rank like people in there, like Davina or like Freya, like people like that, that's just because I don't know them. So I'm just gonna leave them out, and then once I do watch the originals, then I'm going to continue with the series and do the whole like ranking like again, you know? This is kind of different from, well, it's not really different from what I've been doing on my channel because I've done it once before with Marvel characters. If you guys want to see that, the link will be somewhere. But I really do love these characters. I feel like I'm going to continue doing tier rankings for like TV shows because I do movie commentaries, and I do love like everything to do with like pop culture and like TV shows and movies and all that. So this will just be a segment for like my TV shows and all that stuff. So without further ado, let's get started. So as you can see, here we have God tier. Love these characters, you know. Then we have lovable, a little bit under God tier. I love them, but I'm not crazy over them, you know. Then we have okay, I guess, for the plot. Like, you were cute, I didn't hate you, but I also didn't love you. Could do without means what it means. Like, I could have done without your character. Like, you brought nothing to the table. I don't really think of you. And then Matt Donovan tier speaks for itself. Let's get started. The first character up is Miss Caroline. Now, where else would I put Caroline other than God tier? Okay, and let me explain. Caroline, her character development, probably the best in the show, especially from season 1. We're talking about season 1, bitchy, competition Caroline, like annoying as fuck, like all this shit. Then the second she became a vampire, when she started learning to feed, when she just started being confident. Like, that's the Caroline I love. Confident, loving herself, knowing her worth. That's what I love the most about Vampire Caroline. And she's just a good friend. She's a good friend, and she's cute, funny, adorable. Love her. There's really just nothing wrong with her. She can be a hypocrite sometimes. Liam, I could have done without you. If we're being completely honest, I could have done without Liam. He brought nothing to the table except for annoyance from me. When him and Elena started dating, I wanted to burst in flames. There was nothing. I don't know what the writers were thinking. I guess, like, I knew what they were thinking. You know, let's put some tension between Damon and Elena, their relationship. She doesn't remember, yada, yada, yada. She's with this normal boy, something Damon could never give her. But he just wasn't giving what he was supposed to give. He wasn't. Next, Matt Donovan. I don't know. I really don't know where else y'all expected me to put him except for Matt Donovan. Should have died first season. There was no need for him. I will admit, the very first time I watched the show, which was like what? I watched the show for the first time. I was a late girl. I started watching the show when I was in junior year because I was a Twilight girl, and there was always this like huge comparison, like who was the better girl vampire, Elena or Bella? And I went with my girl Bella. I still go with my girl Bella. Yeah, I didn't watch the show because I was just like, Twilight is better and all this shit, but like now I love it anyways. But when I first, getting back to the topic at hand, when I first started watching the Vampire Diaries, I loved Matt. Like, I loved him. Like, I thought he was such a good friend, and I thought, like, and he is a good friend to, like, a certain extent, but all he does really is just sit there and judge, and, like, he doesn't do anything. Like, he just sits there and, like, judges, but, like, he serves no purpose. So I'm, like, wondering, like, why are you still here? Caroline's dad? Like, he really tortured Caroline, and Caroline's in my God tier. Yeah, he's going in Matt Donovan. Now we have Lexi. Lexi, sweet Lexi. If I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I like Lexi, okay? I really do. She's really sweet, very good friend to Stefan. That's it. Like, that's all I see for her, and I wish she had more on-screen time. But there's just, like, when everyone's like, oh my god, I love Lexi, best character on the show, I'm just like, I don't know her like that. Like, you know, she's giving me very, y'all about to be real mad, okay, I guess. Like, she's a good person, always looked out for Stefan. Oh, fucking Ketsia? Girl was crazy. I felt bad for her. I did feel bad for her, but then she started getting all, and I can't really rock with that. She was getting in Damon's head. She was playing endless games, and she brought back too many Nina Dobrevs, and it made my brain go insane. Like, so just for that reason, I feel like I could have done without her. So now we're moving on to Silas. Okay, if I'm being honest, I really love Silas. He is so funny, way more interesting a character than Stefan ever will be. He's funny, he's vibrant, he has a reason, he has a motive for what he's trying to do. He's trying to get in and get out. He's doing his own thing, love that. He's a lovable tier. So we're at Miss Katerina Petrova. Where else am I gonna put her besides God tier? Not as much as I love Caroline, so she's behind, but I love Catherine, if you can't tell. Catherine, survivor, will do whatever it takes, whatever means necessary. I love characters like that. Will do whatever it takes to get through the day. Like, she's very headstrong, knows what she wants, and will get it. Just an all-around powerful character. Like, she holds power. Need I say more? Although I will say there were times where I was really frustrated with her, especially because of, you know, her messing up with the plot and how much I love Damon. I'm a Damon girl, especially everything that she's done to him, manipulated him, abused him. I can't really get down with that. That's why she's just, should I put her in lovable? Because she's definitely above Silas and everybody else I'll probably put in lovable, but she, like, maybe. She is a manipulative woman and an abusive woman. There's no denying that. She's abusive. However, I love strong female leads. She low-key reminds me, this is a weird comparison, like out of the ordinary, but I love characters like her and Princess Azula from Avatar. Like, they do whatever it takes to survive. They are on their shit 24/7, don't give a fuck about anybody else. Like, literally just powerful all around. So for now, I'm gonna keep her in God tier, but maybe, just maybe, I'm putting her in first place of lovable. Now we got one of the twins. Lucas, not feeling you. You fucked up. So I could do without you. I could definitely do without you. There's just no other thing. Kai. Oh, Kai. I'm putting you in lovable. He's also, all that shit he did to Bonnie kind of is like, but he's so funny. And like, he carried the show for a while. Why do I think like that, first of all? All the stuff he did to Bonnie, but he's funny. He's a psychopath. He's dead as a psychopath. But his character, just his character as a whole, is just lovable. And I can't bring myself to put him in okay, because his character wasn't okay. He had spice, he had flavor, okay? He had, maybe I should put, I'm going to change, I'm too scatterbrained. Maybe I should change okay, I guess, to cute. Like, they were cute, you know? They're cute, but they're just not my favorite, okay? Yeah, because that's what Lexi is to me. She's cute, but she's just not my favorite. Okay, anyway, all of the travelers just get on my nerves, so he'll go in Matt Donovan tier. Same with this professor, Matt Donovan tier. I don't know what he was thinking. Crazy, self-serving, don't like him, literally stank, makes me regurgitate, so Matt Donovan tier. I think I might put Mrs. Michelson in. Again, she didn't really do anything for me. I don't know if she's in the originals, but I could have done without her. Maybe she'll be in front of, yeah, Luke. I don't know why Liam is so far ahead, bitch. You're over here. Literally borderline Matt Donovan. Okay. Maybe I should put Matt Donovan. Maybe I should put him in Matt Donovan. Caroline's mom. So lovable. I'm putting her first in lovable. Literally, should I change Silas? I feel like he shouldn't be up here. You know, he was there for a cute season and a half. I like him so much, but maybe I should put, this is why my brain just isn't trustworthy right now. What is this? I'm gonna put Joe in lovable too, but just not as lovable as Caroline's mom, because I really do love Caroline's mom and her relationship with, like, obviously the girls, but like Damon, I just love her. Vicky, I could have done without Vicky. She's just not as bad. Actually, no, she is as bad as Matt Donovan. Both the Donovans are in Matt Donovan. She might even be behind Matt Donovan. Every single word, every single thing she said in the first and second season, I don't understand. Like, oh my God. Every single thing she said to Jeremy, every single little conversation she was having with somebody else literally made me want to shoot myself in the head. The bitch doesn't make sense. April, if I'm being honest, I could have done without April. Didn't really care for her. She might be in front of everyone just because she's sweet. I know that's Freya, but again, I haven't seen the original, so I'm not gonna rank her. Who the fuck is that? Oh my God. Olivia. I like Olivia, actually. I'm gonna put her in cute. I don't really remember most of the stuff that she did. Again, I haven't really seen the show, like fully the show. Like, I've watched the show like fully through twice. And then everything after that, I've just kind of like watched bits and scenes and like watched episodes with my friends. So like, again, like I generally know what happened and like, you know, specific plot lines and stuff like that, what these characters were used for, what these characters did. Stefan. Some of y'all about to be real mad at me, but it must be said. I don't like Stefan. And here's why. Mans is a whole hypocrite, the entire thing. I don't give a fuck if it is his story or not. He's a hypocrite. I don't like main characters in the first place. He is such a hypocrite. His fans are hypocrites. Literally, okay, every single thing he has blamed somebody else for, Elena for, Damon for, just somebody else, it has literally, he's done worse, or he has done that exact same thing. He's the most dry character on that show. Literally doesn't have funny moments. Like, he's just so stiff all the time, always just brooding, and just being like the savior, trying to like show everybody that he's like the savior, that he's like he's the better man, that he's all this and all that. When in reality, Stefan has had literally everything handed to him and everybody just love him. Like, for no reason. He's a whole Gemini. Like, huh? Lexi, Stefan's best friend, when he gets off the rails, he has somebody to cry on. They were little, his mom and his dad were all up in Stefan. They were all, you know, Stefan's this, Stefan's that, Stefan's all this. I'm not seeing what's so great about Stefan. Literally, people want to say Stefan's the better man. He's like so good to humans. Mans is a whole ripper. He's gone around and killed whole towns of women and children and men. Like, I don't get it. He never owns up to what he's done. It's always like somebody else's fault. It's always, well, you made me do this. You made me do that. No, Stefan, nobody made you do anything. Bitch, that's all you. I don't care if like you don't blame anybody else for your problems. That's just me. You don't blame other people for your problems. If it's happened, it's happened. And if it's not your fault, it's not your fault. But literally everything, most things that have happened to Stefan are his fault. Like, he's brought upon himself, or just it's a part of who he is. And it's not his fault that he's a ripper. It's not his fault that he's a ripper, but dead ass, he makes it like a point to, I guess, like bring up his problems and his situations all the time. When there's other people going around. There's other people going around that have problems, Stefan. It's not just you, babe. It's not just you, babe. I really just, oh my God, I just don't like Stefan. The first season, it's just like that. The first time I watched the show full through, I enjoyed Stefan. Then I started being like, oh, well, you know, there's like a little bit of tweaks and stuff that he's a little bit of a hypocrite, I'm not gonna lie. Second round through, full on hypocrite. Everything he like does and says, I'm just like, what is wrong with you? Bruh. And y'all like to talk about how certain people messed up everything. Literally none of this would have happened if Stefan would have just controlled himself and not talked to Elena. None of like this bad stuff, obviously we wouldn't have had a show. Really interesting. But if we think about it, none of these awful things would have happened if it wasn't for him being like, I have to know her. Like, fucking creep. You're not Edward Cullen, sweetie. You can't be creepy. He should have let her live her life. He should have been like, oh, you know what? She's cool. She looks like Catherine. Whatever. She's not Catherine. Let me push off. I just think he's a little immature. I think he puts all his problems on other people. I don't like when people do that. I like when people own up to their things. I like when people own up to their shit. He's just a massive hypocrite and I have no time for that. So, I could do without Stefan. He's a main character, so I'm putting him above like other people, but I literally don't like Stefan. All this whining and crying and pining, making people feel bad for you. Okay. Okay. Sweetie, Catherine has had it much worse than you and she's not crying every 5 seconds. Next we have Enzo. Literally lovable. There's nothing else. He's made Bonnie so happy. Oh my God, it's getting hot. I'm very sorry. Tyler, I don't like Tyler. I'm gonna put him, he didn't annoy me as much as Stefan did, so I'm gonna put him above Stefan. But Tyler, everything he did to Caroline, bye. Well, not everything he did to Caroline. It's not even just what he did to Caroline. It's the fact that he, especially when like he got jealous that Caroline was talking to Klaus, when you're the one that blew her off in the first place. So I don't know what you expected. I feel like he's just very entitled and very annoying. That's what I'm gonna say. Very entitled, very annoying, so I'm putting him in could do without. Bonnie, very lovable, very lovable. I'm putting her in lovable. Just the only reason she's not in God tier is because with her, obviously she's very humble about her power and what she's been given. However, I just really love her character, and it's not to the same level as I love like Caroline and Catherine. Like she doesn't give me that like power. And the thing that like made me a little bit more, I don't know if this is like, I should say like annoyed or not, but I love witchy shows. I watch witchy shows all the time. I'm like really into like supernatural stuff and stuff like that. So I watched a plethora of shows that had to do with witches. Bonnie's powers just never amazed me. Like, it was like she would be doing an excess amount of power, like saying Fesmatos Incendia like 5,000 times for like one small thing to happen. And like, I was watching American Horror Story Coven when I was 14, somewhere around that age. I'm used to that kind of power. I'm used to you giving the give. Bonnie's powers never gave me the give, you know? Please tell me you understand what I'm talking about. Like, she never exuded power, but as a person, Bonnie is everything. Without Bonnie, I will say, without Bonnie, everybody would have been dead. Everybody takes Bonnie for granted, and it kind of sounds like I'm taking Bonnie for granted, but everybody takes Bonnie for granted. Literally the embodiment of Black women doing everything for a bunch of white people who are grateful. Literally, that's it. Then we have Don't Know Who She Is. I'm lacking. Like, please tell me. I'm gonna need to rewatch this show. Stefan and Damon's mom, literally going in Matt Donovan. But I will never forgive her for choosing a bunch of random people over Stefan and Damon. Like, your kids? Are you kidding me? Also very awful to Damon. Damon. Let's talk about Damon. I don't know where to put him and Caroline, if they're switched or not. But I love Damon. Him and Caroline definitely just have the best character development in the show. I think Caroline a little bit more than Damon. But for Damon, the thing I like about Damon is that he never had anybody on his side, ever. Didn't have Alexi. You know, Alexi in meaning like a best friend that would help him through his hard times. He never wanted to be a vampire. Stefan made that choice for him. He wanted to be a vampire when Catherine was alive. When he thought that Catherine died, he wanted to die too. There was no point in being a vampire. Stefan really came up in his face, said, let's do this together. I'm gonna make you feed. Made him feed on his dad. And then doesn't expect Damon to be mad over that for the rest of their lives? I would be pissed. But Damon didn't have Alexi to help him get through anything. He was on his own for like literally so many years. Always tried to look out after Stefan. I never believed he would have ever killed him. That's just, he loves Stefan too much. Trying his best to be a good brother after everything that Stefan put him through. It was the second choice for everybody. Second choice to Catherine. Second choice to their parents. Second choice to Elena, if we're really going in there. She picked him, but he was her second choice. Not second choice, but she fell in love with him second. She fell in love with him after she fell out of love with Damon. Or actually, no, she fell in love with him while she was still in love with Stefan. But the point is, he was after Stefan. He was just second in everything, but despite all of that, he owned up to like literally everything he's ever done. Yeah, he was literally an asshole. Literally, probably him and Klaus, worst people on the planet. However, he owned up to everything that he did. He was never trying to pretend that he was someone he wasn't. Obviously brought the humor, brought lots of flavor to the show. What would this show be without Damon and Salvatore? Dry. Without Damon and Klaus, the show would be the driest show on earth. And the thing that I love about, I'm a Delena shipper. I love Delena. The thing that I love about Delena more than Stelena is that with Delena, there was never like conditions. There was never like, I love you if. With Stefan, it was, I love Elena always if she's a human. Because I can't look at her like I look at Catherine. With Damon, he loved that girl whether she was a vampire or not. He didn't care. He literally just didn't care. If Elena's Elena, it's just Elena. That's literally, Stefan likes to control people. Stefan likes to control Elena. She shouldn't be this, she shouldn't be that. Who are you to tell? You're in a woman's business, first of all. I'm gonna need you to get out of that. Damon loved her unconditionally. There was no conditions. Yes, Elena was annoying. He loved her. He loved her. That's saying a lot. He has done awful things, but redemption arcs like that, like, you just can't not love somebody after seeing their full story, how they've grown to be like that, why they're like that. Like, you can't tell me after living a life as awful as Damon has, when nobody loves you, everybody thinks you're the monster, so you just begin to be the monster, that you wouldn't like start being an asshole, because I would. Especially like with Catherine, her life was awful. She started being a bitch. I would have too. I definitely would have too. The thing that I don't like is that people give Stefan and Catherine passes for things that they wouldn't give passes to Damon on, which is very odd, and y'all just seem like some Damon haters. Because if we're being completely honest, everybody in this show is awful. They've all killed people. They're vampires. I don't know what y'all expected. Like, everybody in this show has killed somebody, has done awful things. It's just Damon because he killed some of the people that y'all like. Then we have Elijah, very lovable. Putting him over here, no question about it. Love the noble one. There was a point in time where I actually loved him more than I loved Klaus. And Klaus is going in God tier. Above, yeah, he's just right there. I don't think, Klaus is just, he's power. He says it, he walks that walk, he talks that talk. I love him. And I love Caroline. I'm mad that Caroline never happened. And one of the things that I do actually know about the originals is that Caroline doesn't happen, which pisses me off. Yes, just like Damon, just like Catherine, he has done probably the worst things in the whole show. Like, there's no question about it. Obviously, he's lived the longest, so he's done probably like the most damage out of anyone. But again, character arcs like his, like, you understand and you know where he came from and how and why he's like this, and like how he deals with certain things. And I think that complex characters like that are just the best characters. And it's kind of weird to say that I ship Caroline, especially when he has been like pretty abusive to her, if we're gonna keep it 100% real. He's physically hurt her while she was a vampire. However, it's still a little bit weird, but I love them. And it sounds like awful, like coming out of my mouth like this, because I would never condone, but this is like a fictional world. This is like, vampires heal quickly. They he bit her while he was a werewolf and she almost died, impaled her with a whole lamp. Crazy man. I'm gonna just keep going. I'm gonna keep going. But again, like everybody else on this list, they own up to what they do. They're not afraid to say, you know what, I messed up on this. They're all strong up here. God tier is looking real good. Rebecca, not gonna lie, girl annoyed me in this show. I'm gonna put her the last in lovable just because she didn't annoy me like other characters. She just did certain things and I'm just like, okay. Isabel, Matt Donovan, literally what? Sage, she was cute. Jeremy, I could have done without Jeremy, if we're being completely honest. He'll go in front of Stefan. Oh, freaking doctor, Matt Donovan. Literally, fuck you. I don't think I need to explain anymore. John, I could have done without John. This woman, I could have done without her. Literally did nothing for me. Alaric. This is probably very strange, but I'm putting him in God tier. I love Alaric. His death in season 3 broke me. His death, I probably cried the most for. I don't think I've cried for anybody as much as I cried for him and obviously Damon in the season 5 finale. Maybe it's because I have father issues and I was looking for a father representative and that was Alaric for me. Rose, I love Rose. She's going in front of the sheriff for me. Actually, nah, she wasn't there for that long, so I'm not gonna give her that big of a pass, but Mr. Lockwood, sir, Mason. I could have done without Mason. I just don't really like the werewolves in the show. Matt's mom, all the Donovans to the back. Immediately. Some of y'all about to be real mad at me, but it must be said, girl is underlovable. Yeah. Say what you want, but this is the deal. Y'all hate Elena for the same things that Stefan does. Let that sink in. They're the same person. They're the same person. The same moral compass, the same whatever. Literally, what? The only reason she's above Stefan and not even in cute is just because I don't know what it was. I really liked her character. Yes, she did, she was a little self-centered. Not all the time. She was very compassionate, always tried to look out for others when she could. Obviously she couldn't all the time. Girl was like, I don't know, you know? But the thing is, I don't understand. I feel like some of y'all hate Elena like a little too much. Cause like her and Stefan are literally the same, and y'all idolize Stefan, but like, I feel like, I really don't know how to explain it. She's there. Y'all can cry about it in the comments. Next we have Haley. In TVD, I didn't like her, but I know everyone loves her in the original, so I'm gonna put her higher and cute just because I have good expectations for her, you know? Then we have this bitch Sybil. I could have done without her. Don't like her. Jenna, lovable. I'm putting her above Elijah. I love Aunt Jenna. And she died too soon. And I was pissed when she died. I was so pissed at Klaus. I love Aunt Jenna. Then we have Bonnie's mom. I could have done without Bonnie's mom. Deadbeat mother. Travelers, all the travelers to the back. Immediately. Mr. Michelson, you're going in Matt Donovan. After that shit you pulled with Klaus, you're going into Matt Donovan, sir. Cole. I'm sorry, but I could do without Cole. At this point, like, my could do withouts are kind of like mixed. I feel like they're like interchangeable. And the last person I know here is Tyler's mom. She can go under could do without. So this is my final tier. I don't know what y'all want me to say. God tier is looking pretty damn good. Y'all gonna laugh at me for a lark, me putting a lark there, but I don't give a fuck. We got Caroline, Klaus, Damon, I almost called him Matt, a lark, and Catherine. I don't know. I think I snapped. I really did. God tier and lovable on, I feel like these characters just made the show what it is. And that's all I gotta say on that. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys cried, were mad at me in the comments, especially from this Miss Elena bit. I would love to have a discussion with you guys in the comments. So without further ado, I will see you guys next week. Either tonight or tomorrow, I will be filming Harry Potter Prisoner of Azkaban, and then when I do finish that entire series and that franchise, I'll probably be doing a whole tier list on that too, so watch out for that. This is really fun to make. I love tier lists. I might do tier lists for like albums and stuff like that. I love tier lists. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week.